Chapter 1. A New Idea for Learning. Imran was a young student who wanted to learn English. He lived in a small town. In his town, people mostly spoke their local language. Very few people spoke English. Because of this, Imran did not have many chances to practice. But he had a strong desire to learn. He believed that English could open many doors in life. Every day, he tried to study English. He read small stories. He watched simple videos. He wrote new words in a notebook. Sometimes he practiced speaking alone in his room. Even though he worked hard, he still felt slow progress. Some days he felt tired and confused. He wondered if there was an easier way to improve. One evening, Imran was watching a video about language learning. In the video, a teacher talked about a very interesting idea. The teacher said that the brain continues to work even when a person sleeps. The teacher explained that listening to English before sleeping and during light sleep can help the brain remember words and sounds. This idea surprised Imran. He had never thought about learning while sleeping. At first, he was not sure if it was possible. But the idea sounded simple and interesting, so he decided to try it. That night, Imran prepared a small plan. Before going to bed, he played a recording of simple English sentences. The voice in the recording was slow and clear. The sentences were easy to understand. They talked about daily life. For example, the voice said, "Good morning. How are you today?" Then it said, "I am learning English step by step." The sentences were repeated many times. Imran listened carefully while lying on his bed. He did not try to memorize everything. He just relaxed and listened. The calm voice made him feel peaceful. Slowly, his eyes closed, and he fell asleep while the English sentences were still, playing softly in the background. The next morning, something interesting happened. When Imran woke up, some sentences from the recording were still in his mind. He remembered hearing them again and again during the night. The words felt familiar. They did not feel new anymore. This small experience gave him hope. He realized that his brain was learning even while he was resting. From that day, he made this method a daily habit. Every night before sleeping, Imran listened to simple English recordings. Sometimes they were short stories. Sometimes they were conversations between two people. Sometimes they were lists of common sentences used in daily life. During the day, he practiced speaking those sentences. When he heard a sentence at night, he tried to use it the next day. For example, if he heard the sentence, "I am happy to see you," he repeated it the next day while practicing speaking. After some weeks, Imran noticed an important change. His listening skill became stronger. He could understand spoken English more easily. Many sentences sounded natural to him because he had heard them many times while resting. He also learned another important lesson. Learning English does not have to be stressful. Sometimes people think they must study for many hours without rest. But the brain also learns during calm and relaxed moments. Imran began to combine this night method with his normal study routine. During the day, he read simple English stories. He practiced speaking short sentences. He learned new vocabulary. At night, he relaxed and listened to English again. This combination helped him improve slowly but steadily. His confidence began to grow. He no longer felt afraid of English words. The language started to feel friendly instead of difficult. Imran also shared this idea with his friends. Some of them laughed at first. They thought learning in sleep sounded strange. But Imran explained that it was not magic. It was simply a way to train the brain by repeated listening. He told them that the brain remembers sounds it hears many times. When a learner listens to clear English sentences again and again, the brain begins to recognize patterns. Later, speaking those sentences becomes easier. Imran's journey had just begun. Bide House, Chapter 1 of his story was about discovering a new learning habit. He learned that listening before sleep could help his memory. He learned that simple repetition can train the mind. He also understood that patience is very important. Language learning is not a race. It is a slow and steady journey. Every small step matters. That night, before going to bed, Imran played another recording of simple English conversations. The calm voice filled the quiet room. He closed his eyes and smiled. He knew that while he slept, his brain was still learning. Konk. Chapter 2. Training the Mind Every Night. After a few weeks, Imran felt more comfortable with his new learning method. Listening to English before sleep became a natural part of his daily routine. Just like brushing his teeth or setting his alarm, he prepared a small English lesson every night. The sentences were simple. The voice in the recordings was slow and clear. This made it easy for him to relax and listen carefully. Imran also learned something important about the human brain. The brain loves repetition. When a person hears the same words many times, the brain begins to remember them naturally. This happens even if the person is not trying very hard to memorize. Because of this, listening to English many times can slowly build strong language skills. Every night, Imran chose a different type of recording. Sometimes it was a short story about daily life. Sometimes it was a simple conversation between two people at a shop, in a school, or in a park. These conversations helped him understand how people speak English in real situations. For example, one recording showed a conversation between two friends. One voice said, "Hello, how are you today?" The other voice replied, "I am fine." "What are you doing now?" The first voice answered, "I am studying English. Okay. I want to improve my speaking." These sentences were very simple, but hearing them many times helped Imran understand the rhythm of English. He started to notice how sentences were connected. He also noticed the natural speed of speech. During the day, Imran tried to use these sentences in his own practice. When he met a friend, he greeted him in English. When he studied alone, he spoke simple sentences aloud. At first, it felt strange. Speaking alone in a room was not easy. But he reminded himself that practice builds confidence. Slowly, Imran also improved his pronunciation. He listened to recordings at night. He paid attention to how words sounded. Native speakers pronounced some letters softly. By hearing these sounds again and again, Imran's ears became trained to recognize them. Another interesting thing happened. Imran's mind started to think in English more often. Before, he always thought in his own language first. Then he tried to translate his thoughts into English. This process was slow. But now something new was happening. Directly in English. For example, when he woke up in the morning, his mind said, "Today I will practice English." When he saw the sun in the sky, he thought, "The weather is beautiful today." These small changes showed that his brain was becoming familiar with English patterns. Imran also discovered the power of calm learning. At night, his body was relaxed. His mind was quiet. There were no distractions like noise, phones, or busy activities. Because of this calm environment, the English sentences entered his memory more easily. However, Imran also understood that listening during sleep was only one part of learning. It could not replace daily practice. So he continued to read stories, write words, and speak sentences during the day. The night listening simply helped strengthen what he learned. One day, Imran decided to test his progress. He played a new English conversation that he had never heard before. He listened carefully. To his surprise, he understood most of the sentences. The voices were speaking naturally, but the words felt familiar. This moment made him very happy. It showed that his listening skill had improved. The many nights of calm listening had trained his ears to understand spoken English better. Imran also began to notice common phrases used in everyday conversation. Phrases like, "How are you?" "That sounds good," and "I understand" became natural. Because he heard them many times at night, they stayed in his memory. Another benefit was confidence. Before, Imran felt nervous when hearing fast English speech. Now, he felt more relaxed. Even if he did not understand every word, he could understand the general idea. This made communication easier. His friends started to notice his improvement too. When they talked with him, they saw that he spoke more smoothly. His sentences were simple but clear. He did not stop as often as before. When his friends asked him how he improved, Imran smiled and shared his method. He told them that learning English can be simple if a person practices regularly and listens often. He explained that listening before sleep helped his brain become familiar with English sounds. Some friends decided to try the same method. They also began listening to simple English recordings before sleeping. Slowly, they noticed similar improvements. Imran felt proud, but he stayed humble. He knew that language learning never truly ends. There are always new words to learn and new ways to improve. Chapter 2 of his journey showed an important lesson. The mind becomes stronger with gentle and repeated practice. Listening calmly every night can train the brain to understand language naturally. But Imran's story was not finished yet. There was still one more step in his journey. In the final chapter, he would discover how to turn listening skills into confident speaking. Kang. Chapter 3. From Listening to Speaking Naturally. After months of listening to English at night and practicing during the day, Ron noticed a big change. His ears had learned to recognize English sounds quickly. His brain had started thinking in English more often. But he realized there was one final challenge: speaking English confidently in real life. Listening and understanding were helpful, but speaking required courage, practice, and a clear plan. Imran decided to take small steps. He began by speaking simple sentences to himself in the morning. He said things like, "Good morning," "Today is a nice day," or "I will eat breakfast now." These sentences were easy, but repeating them every day trained his mouth to form English words naturally. Slowly, his tongue became more comfortable with English sounds. Next, he spoke to his friends in English. At first, it was very short sentences. He asked questions like, "How are you?" or "What are you doing?" At first, he made mistakes. Sometimes the words came out wrong. Sometimes he forgot grammar. But he remembered an important lesson: mistakes are part of learning. Every mistake was an opportunity to improve. His friends were patient, and this gave him more confidence. Imran also combined his night listening method with speaking exercises. He played recordings of conversations and paused after each sentence. Then he repeated the sentence aloud, trying to copy the tone, speed, and pronunciation. This imitation technique helped him speak more naturally. After some time, sentences came out smoothly, almost like a native speaker. Another key habit was thinking in English all day. Instead of translating from his own language, he tried to form ideas directly in English. More sums. For example, when he saw a tree, he thought, "The tree is tall and green." When he walked outside, he described everything he saw. The sky is clear. People are walking fast. These small exercises trained his mind to express thoughts in English naturally. Imran also joined online groups where people practiced English. At first, he was shy, but he used short sentences and listened carefully. Every conversation gave him new vocabulary and confidence. He realized that real speaking practice was different from listening in sleep. But now, his ears and brain were trained, so he could understand and respond better than before. Over time, Imran's speaking improved greatly. He could use daily phrases naturally. His accent became clearer, His pronunciation sounded more accurate. Orne. People noticed his progress and asked for tips. He told them that listening while sleeping, daily practice, and thinking in English were the main secrets. He reminded them that success comes slowly, one step at a time. Imran also discovered another important lesson. Learning English is not about perfection. Even native speakers make mistakes. The goal is to communicate clearly and confidently. If words do not come perfectly, it is okay. Speaking naturally and without fear is the real success. By combining night listening, daily practice, and real conversations, Imran had transformed his English skills. He could now understand spoken English easily. He could speak short conversations naturally. He could read simple stories and use new words correctly. His dream of learning English in a smart and peaceful way was coming true. In the end, Imran understood a simple truth. Learning English is a journey. It requires patience, consistency, and a positive attitude. Small daily habits like listening at night and practicing during the day, can create big results. Anyone can learn English if they are patient and follow a step-by-step plan. King? Imran smiled as he thought about his journey. From a small town with few opportunities, he had built a strong habit. He had trained his brain while sleeping and practiced speaking during the day. His English was not perfect, but it was natural, clear, and confident. And he knew that the journey would continue. Every new word, sentence, and conversation was a step closer to mastery. His story teaches one important lesson. Learning English can be simple, enjoyable, and even happen while you sleep. With consistent effort, practice, and courage, anyone can speak English naturally and confidently